Welcome to Monique Jordan's channel. Please like, share, and/or subscribe for more videos.
So sit back, relax, kick your feet up, and most of all enjoy. Much love.
Gualapan Wallapan. In the folklore of the Araucanian Indians of Chile, a fantastic amphibious animal. It has the head of a calf and the body of a sheep. If a pregnant woman sees, hears, or dreams of Gualapan on 3 consecutive nights, her child will be born deformed. Often the Gualapan will rape ewes or cows, although sometimes the offspring differs from the mother, with only the feet or nose deformed. Gukimats, plumed serpent. In Mayan mythology, hero in the Mayan sacred book Popol Vuh, who could transform himself into an eagle, snake, or tiger among other animals. Together with the creator Tepu, he advised Hurukin to determine how to create men and glorify the gods. The three made the earth, and Gukimats and Tepu created the animals and humanity. Gadachagaquatl, old man above. In North American Indian mythology, Wiyat, creator god who accomplishes creation by joining his hands and spreading them out over the primeval vacuum. Haxan in North American Indian mythology, Jicarilla Apache, supernatural personification of objects and natural forces. The creator of all things. Waka Guaca. In Inca mythology, a term applied to anything considered sacred or possessed by a spirit, such as a totem stone, a grave, and the crest of a mountain. A special category of these sacred things were the apachitas, piles of stones collected and placed in dangerous places along roads or mountain passes. A Spanish account, written by one de Santa Cruz Pacacayamqui Salcamayua, called Account of the Antiquities of Peru, says that after the natives were converted to Christianity, they destroyed all the huacas and idolatries and punished those who consulted them. Today, the word is used as a synonym for treasure, because the jewels and gold objects are often found near the sites of ancient huacas. Hino in North American Indian mythology, Iroquois, the thunder, armed with his mighty bow and flaming arrow, he was the eternal enemy of evil. Hino killed the great serpent of the waters, which destroyed the earth. Hino's wife is a rainbow, and his assistants are Ashadagia, the great dew eagle who lives in the western sky, and who carries a dew animal in his hollow, and Kenu, the golden eagle. Hamshuk in Mayan mythology of the Indians of Veracruz, Mexico, the corn spirit. Hamshuk was initially opposed to god Huracan, who later accepted and cared for him because corn is necessary to sustain life. Huehueteotl in ancient Mexican mythology, fire god, believed to be the oldest of the gods. Humac, strong hand. In Aztec mythology, god of earthquakes, sometimes equated with Quetzalcoatl. He was the last secular ruler of the city of Talin before it was destroyed. Hunanansen, our great old mother. In Aztec mythology, great mother goddess of the lords of the four directions. Hutectl, old flake stone. Excuin, he who had 4 faces. Nanetosatsi, who talks when he gets drunk, and Tetmiclop stone, who strikes. Every day, the 4 sons of Hunanansen killed their mother and sacrificed her to the sun. Huitzilopochtli, in Aztec mythology, a war god associated with the sun. Ritual human sacrifices of prisoners were made to him. Huitzilopochtli was a brother of Quetzalcoatl. His mother, Coatlicue, one day fetched a ball of bright feathers on her way to the temple of the sun god. She placed them in her bosom, causing her to become pregnant. When her family discovered her pregnancy, they wanted to kill her, but Huitzilopochtli was fully armed and killed them instead. In a variant of the myth, Huitzilopochtli was a man who was the leader of the Aztecs on their walks. Upon his death, or when he returned to heaven, his skull became an oracle and told them what to do. Bernal Diaz del Castillo, in his Redacta Historia de la Conquista de la Nueva España, recounting an eyewitness account of the Spanish conquest, describes a shrine of Huitzilopochtli, in which the walls of the oratory were black and dripping with blood, and the floor was horrible. D. H. Lawrence, in his novel The Plumed Serpent, recounting the reintroduction of Aztec gods to modern Mexico to replace Christ, includes a series of poems in honor of Huitzilopochtli. Hunabku, the only god, in Mayan mythology, unseen god, father of Itzamna, the sky and sun god. He married Ixazaluk, the goddess of water, with whom he had a son, Itzamna, a literate and culture immortal. No images of Hunabku were made. Hunapu and Zbalank in Mayan mythology, double heroic goods in the Popol Vuh. the sacred book of the ancient Quiche Maya of Guatemala. One day, Hun Hinapu, the father of Hinapu and Zbalanque, came to the ball with his brothers. Near Zabalba, the underworld in Maya mythology, the lords of Zabalba challenged Hun Hinapu to a ball game, and eventually he and his brothers were tortured and killed. Hun Hinapu's head was placed on a tree, which immediately bore fruit. Sometime later, Exquick, Little Blood or Blood of a Woman, the daughter of a Lord Cookie-Mackwick, went to the fruit of the tree. She stood up, and what played from the skull fell into her palm. In my saliva and spittle have I given you my offspring, said the tree to Exquick. The girl then gave Hinapu and Zbalanque, as their father had before them. They encountered the princes of Zabalba. When they came to the underworld, they were told to sit down. This is no place for us. It is only a hot stone, the two said to the lords. They were then told in the House of Gloom, then the House of Knives, then the House of Jaguars, and the House of Bats, where they encountered the vampire bat god Kamasats. To protect themselves, they hid in a blowgun. All night long bats flew around them, but could not touch them. When morning came, Hinapu went to see if there was light, and Kamasat sniffed off his head. Hinapu's head was placed in the ball head by the Zybalbans, while a turtle took its place. Eventually, however, his head was restored. The two heroes continued to defeat the lords of Zabalba by using many magical means. They would kill each other and then restore themselves to life. When the lords saw this miracle, they also wanted to be killed and brought back. The heroes obliged the first part, but did not bring the lords back to life. Hurakan, the one-legged. In Maya mythology, a creator god. In the beginning, according to the Popol Vuh, sacred book of the ancient Quiche Maya of Guatemala, the god Hurakan was in a dense and primeval gravity over a watery waste. Hurakan went over the surface of the waters like a mighty wind and said one word, Earth. At this utterance, a solid mass slowly rose from the deep. The gods, there were many, then took counsel to see what should be done next. Among the gods were Hinapu, Gukkimats, Spiakok, and Zmukane. After some discussion, it was decided to create animals, which they did. Then the gods carved wooden mannequins and gave them life, but they were too puppet-like. Hurakan sent a great flood to destroy them. All were drowned except for a few handfuls, whose descendants later became the little monkeys that live in the forest. Hurakan made for a perfect Membalam Quitza, Balamegag, Makutin, and Ikibalam. They are the ancestors of the Quiche. Ayataku, alive. In North American Indian mythology, Akama, creator goddess together with her sister, Natsutai. Their children, the Katsanas, have the power to bring rain and food. Some sources give the names of the two goddesses as Utset and Notset. Ayataka watches over people and promotes their general well-being. She is often identified as the breath of life. Iktomi, Untami. In North American Indian mythology, Dakota and Lakota, trickster who invented human speech. Inti in Inca mythology, the sun, from whom the Incas believed they were descended, married to his sister Mamaquilla. The moon, Ini was depicted as a human, his face represented by a disc of gold surrounded by flame rays. Ini was also called Apu Panchaw, the head of the day. Every night, Ini fell into the sea, swam along it through the night, and rose refreshed in the morning.
Thanks for watching this video. I hope you come back soon. So till the next time, much love.